With Apple deciding that they're going to cut production of the iPhone Air by 80%, it's safe to say that this phone is an absolute flop. Yeah, this phone was not going to survive that. But let's see what they can do to help solve the issue, and do thin phones actually have a future? Let's see. Maybe I shouldn't have thrown this off the top of that, but hey, oh well. Now, yes, some of you may have caught on this was a dummy unit. I'm not actually dumb enough to throw a £1,000 phone off a ledge. But yeah, I did use the iPhone Air myself. I used it for about a week, and I bought the 256GB in sky blue. That was a good phone to use, but I don't have it right now with me because I unfortunately did return it. And a lot of other people are too, hence why Apple actually cut down their production by 80%. And that's not a little number. Genuinely, 80% is crazy. Even though the phone did perform well in places like China, you know, it actually sold out in China. But there are obvious reasons why the iPhone Air genuinely just isn't working, and one of the main reasons is price. The iPhone Air is priced at £1,000, which is the same price, just £100 less than the iPhone 17 Pro, the phone that I actually daily every day. And with that, you're getting a singular lens on the phone. Yes, you are getting a thin design, but with that comes also a really small battery. There are some cool things to do with it, like, you know, the titanium build, that's kind of cool. The screen is 120 hertz, you know, pretty nice. But some of the things that people do notice every single day, like the battery life, are unfortunately quite poor on the iPhone Air. Also, the cameras, most people like in 2025 to have more than one camera. This, if anything, looks like an iPhone SE with a little bit of a bar at the top. The 16e, the iPhone 16e, I don't know why they named it like that. But most people, even though statistically most people don't use an ultra-wide lens on their phone, people want the convenience of having the ultra-wide when they need. And to think this phone is only £100 less than the iPhone 17 Pro, the one that has literally everything, it just makes people think, why would I spend £1,000 on just a thin design? Which kind of leads me on to my next point. The iPhone Air just doesn't have as much function, and they clearly prioritized form. As we know, the iPhone 17 Air is really thin. I don't even know if my camera can focus on that, but it's really thin. And even though the thin phone is cool, like if you go into an Apple store and use the thin phone, you're going to be like, wow, this feels cool. I've never felt anything like this before. But it wears off. After like 2 or 3 days, you're going to put a case on it because, again, it's £1,000. Do you want to break your £1,000 phone? So the main thing that you're buying it for, being the thinness, you're not going to have as soon as you put a case on it. But if you don't use a case, then sure, hey, you'll get like a couple extra days of having that thin use. Another point why the iPhone Air has genuinely been selling really, really badly is also because of where they've placed it in the lineup. The iPhone 17, honestly, in my opinion, this year's best value phone, comes in at $799. Or $899. One of them, I'll put it on the screen. And for that, you get 120 Hz, 6.3-inch display, really, really good battery life, thin bezels, double cameras, in fact, probably the same main sensors that we have on the 17 Pro, which is crazy. And all of that for £100 or £200 cheaper than the iPhone Air. Honestly, the iPhone 17, in my opinion, I've said it in countless TikTok videos, that it's been the best value phone this year. You cannot get better. And then comes the iPhone Air, which is selling thinness and premiumness. Yes, it's made of titanium and the whole thing feels cool, but you just can't sell something which isn't really trending. I mean, the S25 Edge, I could make a whole video on how that failed. It's kind of like what they did with the iPhone mini. They introduced something which quite a few people liked. I like the iPhone Air, and a lot of people like the iPhone Air. But the thing is, towards the normal consumer, they're not going to look at this and be like, you know what, I'm going to spend money on it, and it's just not going to be popular. That's why the mini went on for another year to the 13 mini. They improved things, like they increased the battery, which they could do for the Air 2, improved the cameras, which they could do for the Air 2. But again, people just aren't on the small phone. Now, the iPhone Air genuinely could make a comeback. Hey, I'm not putting it against it. There's a lot of people that like the iPhone Air. The design is cool, you know, the overall form factor is cool. Silicon carbon batteries. They need to add that to their phone. It will fix the battery problem, first of all. Add a second camera. I don't know if they're going to do that, though. Maybe add like an ultra-wide and have it crop into 1x instead of if you really want to keep one camera. That means people get the best of both worlds, but that's up to the engineering team. I don't know how they're going to do that. And also maybe decrease the price by about £100, because £1,000 for a phone that has no premium features except for the feel, it's not gonna sell. But yeah, that was just a little rant video from me. The iPhone Air, again, I tried it, I used it, I returned it, that's why I don't have it right now. And I also threw the dummy unit off the flipping 3rd, 4th floor. Will it make a comeback? I don't know. But if it does, I'll definitely be here to report it to you guys. And if you want to see that, make sure to like and subscribe. And I actually do have quite a few videos coming up, including the introduction of S-Vlog, the vlog series, coming soon, because I got this cool camera that does zoom in and stuff. And I will see you guys in another video. I don't know why I keep showing this phone. I genuinely just can't believe I threw this off 4th floor. I deserve a subscription for that.